We're usually pretty happy when we take the back. However, that joy can gradually turn into frustration as we struggle to win the grip fight to get to the submission. So now you hop on YouTube or even ChatGPT to help you solve this problem. And ChatGPT recommends a wrist strap with your leg. And now you got to go track down some people teaching it or some match footage for you to study, which can be a very time-consuming process. And when you finally find an example, Gordon makes it look so easy. And when you try it, it's not so easy. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through my process while giving you 3 new grip fighting tactics that I didn't find in my YouTube search or my ChatGPT results to help you better understand why the pros make rear naked chokes look so easy, so you can drastically improve your finishing rate when attacking from the back.
Welcome to the new shit.
Now, the first thing I do when I'm making a video like this one is I go to the Outlier database and ask the chatbot for some ideas to get me started. And the first thing it recommends is to focus on the position of your elbow relative to your opponent's shoulder. Now, you and I both know we want to get our strangle arm as deep as possible for the rear naked choke. And ultimately what this means is we want to get our elbow as far across our opponent's chest as we can. And our elbow position is determined by the position of our palm. For example, if our palm is facing the mat, our elbow is going to be flared, which means we're going to be more susceptible to things like kimuras. So if we're worried about kimuras, it might make sense for us to turn our palm to face the ceiling, which brings our elbow closer to our center, making it more difficult for our opponent to lock up a kimura. In the context of the back, a lot of times we're fighting for the rear naked choke with our palm facing the mat, which means our elbow is flared and it can be hard to get our elbow in front of their shoulder and across their chest. So instead, we can point our palm to the ceiling, which brings our elbow in, which now makes it much easier to get our elbow in good position. Now, if the defender has inside positioning with their wrist and we do this technique, they still have a good frame in place to prevent our rear naked choke. So ideally, we first get our wrist inside theirs, before focusing on getting our elbow into good position by making our palm face the ceiling. Here we see Ethan's attacking from the back on the overhook side with a straight grip on the defender's primary defensive hand, and he works to get his wrist inside the defender's secondary defensive hand. And now he makes his palm face the ceiling to get his elbow in good position, allowing him to lock up the rear naked choke for the finish. In this example, Ryan's attacking from the overhook side, but the defender has their primary defensive hand in place. But Ryan's focus is on elbow position, so he makes his palm face the ceiling so his elbow can get over the shoulder. So now Ryan has great elbow position, but the defender still has a strong grip on his strangle arm. So Ryan switches to double overhooks and threatens the strangle with his top arm. Now, if they don't do anything, we can do these neck pummeling tactics that Danaher refers to as the hidden hand method. But a lot of times as we threaten the strangle with our top arm, they're going to prevent it, which is what the defender does against Ryan. But again, Ryan just focuses on elbow position and does the same thing with his top arm. And now with both of his elbows in great position, Ryan uses his top arm to break the defender's grip on his bottom arm to lock up the rear naked choke. Now, this strategy does require you to switch to double overhooks. And the general advice is before doing so, make sure you have great control with your lower body. And a body triangle is a great option. This grip fighting sequence from the overhook side has quickly become one of my favorites. And I'm excited to hear all of your success stories after trying it out.
You're always thinking of new shit that we can do, man.
Now, the second idea the chatbot recommends is to understand the weakness of your opponent's grip structure. And again, this comes down to elbow position, but not our elbow, their elbow. If they take a defensive grip that involves their thumb, then that grip is going to be strong if their elbow is higher than their wrist. If they take a grip without their thumb, then that grip is strongest if their elbow is lower than their wrist. So if their grip involves their thumb and we can push their elbow down, we can break that grip because we weakened its structure. If their grip doesn't involve their thumb, we can pull their elbow up, making that grip less effective because the structure is weak. Now, when playing with this, what I've found is that focusing on their elbow position doesn't do much good unless we put tension on their grip first. And the way we put tension on their grip is by getting our own elbow in position, which is why tip number 1 was to focus on your elbow position and tip number 2 is to focus on theirs. Now, if they take a grip that involves their thumb, the way we put tension on this is by bringing our hand up towards their shoulder.
It has an inability to follow the hand beyond a certain point.
And if we can get our hand up towards their shoulder, now the slightest pressure downwards on their elbow will break their grip. So with our hand up by their shoulder, they probably want to switch to a grip without their thumb by bringing their elbow low. But we can prevent this grip by pulling their elbow up. And now as we free our underhook, we go to their wrist. So we've controlled their defensive arm this entire time and they weren't even able to touch our strangle arm. And we lock up the rear naked choke for the win. But again, I can't stress this enough. I've had so much more success when I first first focus on my own elbow position, with the goal of getting tension in their grip. And then once our own elbow is in position, our focus shifts to their elbow. And based on the grip they're defending with, we either push their elbow down or pull it up to compromise the structure of their grip, allowing us to lock up the rear naked choke.
That's that new shit right there, huh?
Now, the third and final tip when grip fighting from the back is that people are extremely good at jiu-jitsu these days, and they're probably studying the same thing you are. So while you're looking to take a cross grip on their top arm to trap it, they know what you're trying to do, and they're going to make it very hard for you to do so. So tip number 3 is to take what they give you. If you're attacking from the underhook side, instead of taking a cross grip on their top arm, take a cross grip on their bottom arm. And I've found this grip to be very useful for pulling their hand behind their own head. And if you can hand it back off to your underhook arm, you free up your strangle arm to get inside the wrist of their secondary defensive hand. And now you make your palm face the ceiling as you focus on getting your own elbow in good position. And now they're probably going to be looking to take a grip on your strangle arm without their thumb. So you focus on lifting their elbow before controlling their wrist and locking up the rear naked choke. From the overhook side, we probably want a straight grip on their primary defensive hand and to get our wrist inside their secondary defensive hand. But if they make this difficult, we can take a cross grip on their bottom arm. And you'll notice this beautiful grip fighting sequence from Ryan was initiated with him having a cross grip on the bottom arm from the overhook side. Your preferred grips when attacking from the underhook or overhook side generally involve controlling your opponent's top arm. But as your opponents get better and better, these grips get harder to get. So these days, I've really been enjoying grip fighting strategies that begin with me controlling the bottom arm before focusing on getting my own elbow in position to put tension on their grip. And then we focus on their elbow position to break their grip and lock up the rear naked choke.
We want to know where all this new shit is coming from.
I'm glad you asked. Now, you already know I like to start my study by asking the chatbot on the Outlier database. And this gets the ball rolling and some ideas flowing on what I should be focused on when watching examples from the back. My next step is to hop over to the search page, where I can get specific with the searches and usually find what I'm looking for. In the case of this video, we were looking to study examples of people grip fighting from the back. And this gives me many examples to study, helping me see what technique looks like against resistance. There's no more looking through hours of footage for one technique example. For this use case, nothing really comes close to what we're building here. The combination of the chatbot and the search feature are the backbone of every piece of content I make. Now, all of my content is free, but I was able to turn my process into a product that I sell. And I'm very happy that the Outlier database has quickly become one of the favorite resources for studying jiu-jitsu. And professional coaches are saying it's an absolute must-have for anyone serious about studying the sport at a deeper level. If you're not using something like this in your training, you're gonna start falling behind. Now, I could keep going, but I'll leave it at that, and I'll either talk to you in the Discord or in the next video.